morning I'm going to be sharing 10 facts about our spines that we really should know. So the first thing is, which was a big surprise to me, the number of muscles, ligaments, joints in our spine, in our back rather. So I figured maybe we had like 4 or 5 different muscles in our backs and that was about it. But did you know that our back has over 40 different muscles? So we have 33 vertebrae and over 100 different ligaments and joints in our spine. So as you see, there's a lot going on in our spine, and there's really a lot that can, potentially be injured or strained. So we really need to be aware of this fairly complicated part of the body. So that is fact number 1, over 40 different muscles in the back. However, the back is super flexible. It's super flexible and very strong. So as I say in yoga class, the spine can move in 6 different directions. So we can bend forward, we can bend back, we can move laterally, side to side, we can twist. The back is really amazingly flexible. It can even bend backwards if you're a relatively flexible person to form about 2/3 of a circle bending backwards. So it's actually super flexible, and it's also very strong. It's a strong, stable structure if we take care of it. It's not that easy to damage. You really have to, over time, and bad posture injuries, etc., can damage the spine, but it is amazingly strong. So even though there's lots going on, there's lots of joints, lots of ligaments, it was made to withstand a fair amount of pressure. It protects our spinal cord, which is super important, for our nervous system. So, it's not a super delicate part of the body, but it is pretty flexible and strong. Another interesting fact, which I did not know, is that we are actually taller in the morning than we are at night. And this is because of gravity. So gravity pushes down on us all day long. So the discs between the vertebra actually shrink during the day because of the pressure of gravity. So we are marginally shorter at night than we are in the morning. And you'll often notice that older people tend to be significantly shorter as they get older. And this is again due to gravity, and other issues, that the discs between the vertebrae actually shrink, they dry out a bit, and you lose height. So you actually get a little bit shorter as you get older. So another fun fact is that the spine actually has an exceptional memory. So that is why when you have bad habits, you have maybe not so great posture, it's really pretty hard to get out of it because your spine remembers the position that you are in most of the time, and it will actually default to that position if we're not actively thinking about it. So the spine has a really good memory, which also is the flip side also is that if you develop good habits, the spine will remember it and you don't have to be thinking about it all the time. It has amazing muscle memory. So whether you have good posture or bad posture, depending on what your habits are, your spine will remember that. So another fun fact, did you know that the neck, the human neck, has the same amount of vertebra as a giraffe? I thought that was a fun fact. We both have 7 vertebrae, which allows our neck to be super flexible. I mean, if you think about it, you can move your neck in lots and lots of different directions, and that's because we have so many different vertebrae in our neck, which again means that we need to be taking care of it, we need to be aware of it, we need to be cognizant of how we're holding our head and our neck. So as I talk about in yoga a lot, again, we want to have our ears right over our shoulders. So let me just turn around and you can see a lot of people do this as they're sitting down. Their head is jutted forward, and but you want to be like this. You want your ears and your shoulders in line, which will keep the natural curves of the upper spine in their right position. So that's just something to think about in terms of your posture. Because what happens is by the age of 40, many people, I think the statistic is about, I'm not sure of the statistic, but by 40, many people have signs of disc deterioration. And by 60, 90%, by 60 years old, 90% of people, men and women, show signs of disc deterioration and issues going on in the back. So, I don't know about you, but I'm getting close to 60, and so I'm pretty sure I know I have some kind of some issues going on in my back. But the thing to remember is that this actually starts pretty young. It starts by about 40 that you start to get wear and tear on the back, and so that by 60, pretty much everybody has some kind of back issue going on. And I don't know if you know this, but in the US, for example, 80% of people will at some point in their life suffer from back pain. 80%. I mean, that is a very high number. However, the good news is that even though there is so much disc deterioration going on from such a young age, many people who actually have disc deterioration or other back issues never have any symptoms. They've done MRIs of people who have shown lots of things going on in their back, but they don't actually have pain, they don't actually have symptoms. So even though we have issues going on, we can help ourselves by doing the right things to not have pain, not have symptoms. And the main symptom is, for a lot of people, lower back pain. Can be lots of different things, can be pain in many different parts of the back. It can be lower back, middle back, upper back. It can be sciatic problems. It can be issues having to do with the nerves in your feet and your toes, which I've talked about my experience a bunch of times with that. So we really want to be taking care of our spine. We don't want to be going, getting older and suffering with back pain or back issues. And again, the good news is that if we take care of ourselves, if we do the right things, if we think about our posture, if we're moving regularly, stretching, strengthening the core, we can prevent a lot of these issues. And even if we have them, even if we are having some symptoms, we can address them and they can improve with doing the right things. I am a great example of that. I've had issues with my lower back. I've had nerve issues in my feet. And they are pretty much gone for the most part right now because I'm trying to do what I'm supposed to do. And it is an ongoing process. You have to just be continually taking care of these things as you get older. But I like to be positive, as you know, and I'm all about us living healthy, happy, and pain-free. So I really encourage you to think about your spine health, to think about your posture, to think about your core strength, to think about any strange symptoms that you might be having in your back, in your legs, in your feet, and maybe, just really be aware of what's going on with you. If you have some strange symptoms, check them out with a doctor or a physical therapist. So the last thing is, and I think I've gone through 10 facts, that yoga is one of the best things that you can do for your spine. There have been studies done that actually compare yoga with physical therapy, and the results are amazingly similar, that people who do yoga regularly as well, or compared to physical therapy, have more or less the same results. I mean, I can post some links to some research below if you're interested in the details. So just to wrap up, key things that we need to remember is most of us are having some kind of spine deterioration or spine issue going on by the time we're 40, by the time we're 60. It's pretty much everybody. But the good news is we don't have to let it ruin our life. We don't have to be in pain. We don't have to be just giving up and saying, well, this is what happens as you get older. No, we can be taking care of ourselves. We can be addressing whatever symptoms that we have, and yoga is one of the best ways to do that. So having said that, I just want to let you know, if you don't know already, that I'm going to be having a 4-week yoga for back pain and spine health series coming up at the end of the month. We start October 22nd, which is going to be 4 classes specifically dedicated to yoga for spine health and back pain. They're going to be beginner friendly. Anybody, any level can do them, because you know me, I'm all about modifying things to make it work for your body. And I'm going to be teaching you gentle poses, gentle postures, some exercises that you can do to address your spine health. So I hope you join me. I will put the link below. And if you're in Bloom, it's free. So it's included in your membership. And for everybody else, it is $49 for the 4 weeks.